So this is a continuation of the stethoscope earring tutorial that I posted. Today we're going to make a keychain, and I've adapted the design a little bit to do a spring for the cord that continues up along the armature, and then we're going to use little seed beads. So we're going to need the same 20 gauge wire, black, and this one is actually 18 gauge wire to make the base a little more sturdy. You'll need a key ring, and I'm attaching the beads with a steel wire to make it more resistant. I have a variety of beads for the keychain, and then also you'll need your tools. So for the earring, I'd used a little rhinestone there for the chest piece. I'm going to use a metal bead this time. So we're going to go ahead and take about a 16-inch piece of black wire and just put the bead on to about like 6 inches here. You want one side to be bigger than the other, and then we're going to take this wire and just wrap it around. So we'll wrap it around the front and then around to the back. Okay, so the bead is completely surrounded, and then what you want to do is, rather than put the wires one beside each other as they were done in the earring, we want to create a coil. So we're going to take this wire and just wind it around, wind it as tightly as you can for about an inch. Now it depends on how long your wire is. You can do this part longer if you have more wire. This is actually the last bit of wire I have on my spool, so I'm just doing what I can with it. And you just want to pull it as tightly as you can to get as even a coil as possible. It doesn't, of course, have to be perfect by any means, but if you can get it tight and even, that would be great. And just keep going until the two wires are about the same length, and then you'll be able to get it somewhat symmetrical. So once you have about an inch of coil, then we're going to just bend these over the wire. So if you want to just like help them out to start them with your pliers, and then get your 18 gauge wire. It's about a 5-inch piece, and we want to wind these around. So we're just going to pull this tight and wind this on either side. Now it depends on how big you want the stethoscope to be. You could wind it around maybe 10 times on either side. So I wound it 12 times on that side, and now I'm going to do 12 times on this side. So once you've wound it 12 times on either side, you're just going to clip these at the back. And then you also want to make sure that, try to cover that little bit of metal if you can, so you can just kind of wiggle these towards each other just to close up the gap. Doesn't matter if there's a bit of a gap as well. So now get your round pliers and just kind of bend this up. Same on this side, just bend it up here, so now it's looking a little bit more like a stethoscope, and then just pull these straight and then decide where you want the bend to be. So we're just going to bring it up here. Looks like it's about maybe an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So you're going to bend that one in, and then this one here, we're going to bend it in here. And I'll show you the difference. When I did the earring, I kind of like put them one to each side of each other, but for the keychain, I'm going to do a little bit different and just put them a little closer together. So I'm going to use a seed bead for this one. So put your seed bead on there, and then you're going to actually bend this to the back. So get your flat pliers, and where it's going to be like about, say, a 1/2 inch distance from the edge, bend it up. And then you can do the same thing on this one. Put your seed bead on there, and then you're going to bend this one about the same distance, like say about 1/2 inch from that edge. Okay, just so they're somewhat symmetrical. So bend it straight up, and then you want to it to capture that bead. So what you're going to do to capture the bead is just take your pliers and bend this at an angle. So you're going to see it's going to kind of cage in that bead. And then from there, just hold it snugly and bend it right out. If you need to tug it more, just get your pliers. And we're not going to wind it around. This is a really thicker wire than the 20 gauge, so it's going to hold its shape better. But you cut it flush and then you just pinch it down. So same thing here. Let's start it out with a bit of a bend. So it's going to kind of capture that bead, and then just hold this here and bend that, pull it that way. And if you need help, just pull it in with your pliers to help it out a little bit, and then you can trim it flush with your cutters. And then what you want to do is you can just kind of push these ends in there so they're not pokey. And there you have, it looks cute when you put them beside each other. There's your little stethoscope, but this one is cuter if you kind of bend it up. So this is really soft, so you could just bend it up by hand. That one is super adorable. And now we're going to add the key ring. So what I have here is I've already attached a stainless steel wire to the key ring, and we're just going to put on our beads, whatever beads you want. Of course, I love the miracle bead, and I always like using metal spacer beads. I find it just really looks nice. And then I'm going to put the heart bead on there. It's super cute with the glass bead. And then we're going to put another metal spacer bead, and then a slightly larger 6mm miracle bead. And then from there, we want to do a loop. So we'll just bend this one at an angle here, and then do a round loop here. But you don't want it too big because you don't want it to jump off over the seed beads. So we're just going to slide it onto one side here. Make sure your loop isn't going to be too big that it comes off, you know, the seed bead there. So just make sure it's going to hold that one in place. Do that, and now hold this with your flat pliers and bend it around at least one full turn, a little bit more. Now this is stainless steel wire. It's super hard, so I'm just going to go in with the memory wire cutters and give it a clip, and then this is going to stay on there. It's not going to come off, and that makes a super cute little stethoscope keychain. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share pictures of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my wire work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to hop on the mailing list, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.